Hey everyone, welcome to our fourth episode of Repressed Humor Issues. We made it. I'm Ryan.
I'm the guy still holding this shit show together.
And I think we should take a second and just advertise that we've made a conscious decision as we've retooled this and rethought how we're going to approach everything, that we're actually not going to do any edits. We want you to have our authentic banter and hear us, well, in our rawest form, if you will. So all of our mess ups, slip ups, Dan cursing me out, Dan trying to count on his fingers, all of that will come
Okay,
through.
eyebrow boy. So if you want to go there, we can talk about some of that stuff if you really want to, but that's not going to end well for you.
I am a saint in disguise.
Yeah, email all your hate mail to clowncollegeboy@gmail.com. That email address does work.
It does work. I got the notification. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, so Ryan's taking all the credit for this, but we actually did decide this together. So that means you're going to hear me humming and and all that sort of stuff because that's naturally how I talk. I'm going to try to be cognizant of it to get better at it, but we don't script this. And that's important to us because we want to have the conversation because this is how Ryan and I talk. So just be aware. I did it right there. I said, you're going to have to get used to the ums and the ahs out of my mouth.
It's part of being a mediocre human.
Wow. Just coming out throwing fists.
You know, well, I figure it's been what, a week and a half, 2 weeks. We're a little late on this, but hey, can't rush words hard. There we go.
Can't rush.
Yeah, there's no perfection there. Anywho,
we're off to a tremendous start. Speaking of that, who's our sponsor this week, Ryan?
I believe it's a little shitty. I mean, now shitty, now small, still shitty. Anyway, X. I think they're struggling quite a bit. Elon's had quite the week with them, but I'd say we came up with some taglines that I think could actually help them. But so I'm going to just jump into one I want to try out. You let me know what you think. X. We don't need your money, but we do.
Yeah, but Elon doesn't need the money. So only X needs the money. And what's going to happen is people are going to go to True Social. So I'm going to say out on that one. Nope. I've got a better one.
Okay.
It's X. Fuck you, advertisers.
I don't think that's going to attract any new business. Didn't they just lose Walmart this week already?
Yeah, but I mean, he might as well double down on it because he doubles down on everything. I mean, Cybertruck, it's the stupidest truck on the planet, yet he still released it. Anyways, outdo what I just did.
All right. X. Twitter, because Elon's idea of X sucks.
Yeah. I still call it Twitter. I can't call it X.
I can't either. And I call it a tweet. I mean, like, what are we going to replace a tweet with X as the moniker? Like,
excrement?
Yeah. Okay, well, now I might be on board.
That just came to me right like that as you were saying that. Because I'm a big Twitter fan. I'm a shit poster like crazy. And I would be willing to say if they called it excrement, I would be willing to call it excrement because that's all that's left on that platform.
Oh man, yeah. I'd go back to actually posting, I think. I mean, my posts are stupid as shit anyway, but could you expect any less from me?
So I think we've come up with a slogan. X, it's full of excrement. Come on, Elon, give us the money. Come on.
We'll make t-shirts for you. We'll wear them to the next Cybertruck launch event. Because God knows this first one.
All it says is Elon's excrement on it. Speaking of excrement, I had an interesting situation after Thanksgiving.
All right.
My wife and I decided that we were going to go to Target because we had some time to waste on that Saturday night. And coming out, this meth Barbie is pushing her cart around our truck lets it go, and it starts swerving towards our truck. Now, realize there's a cart carrier no more than about 10 feet away from where she is, but she's decided she's going to walk all the way around our truck and then leave it there to smash into our truck.
Yeah, meth is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so she's there with, I can't even, Meth Barbie would be a compliment to the other woman that was with her. Apparently they were sisters. I thought one was the mom and one was the child.
Ooh.
That's, yeah,
Ooh.
rough life there. But so I go over and I'm yelling, and my wife is yelling a little bit, saying, just take the cart back. It's not that far to put your cart back. It's not that big of a deal for you to walk the extra 5 feet. And she calls me old man. Now, if you saw me today with the amount of gray that has appeared in my beard because I shaved it back earlier, you'd probably call me old man too. But I just turned and walked away because I knew at that point my wife could take care of this. And I honestly heard them throwing. I'm not allowed to say the words they were throwing. They were pretty bad, but this woman honestly thought it was just okay to push a cart up against somebody else's car because she was too valuable to have to walk the extra 5 feet in the quarter of an inch of snow that there was.
See, that shit
Um,
baffles me because, like, it, even if there's a foot, it's not that far. I mean, if it's really 10 feet, just shove it over there. Make
yeah,
the
so
effort.
honestly, Meth Barbie is now our official most hated person until the next most hated person, George Santos. We're leaving him for another episode. Another episode.
Oh, should we just dedicate an episode to him? My God.
We probably could, but by talking about it this much, we're
Fair. We're giving it too much credence.
yes. So we'll do it in another episode. We'll talk through the full Katara Revanche, Anthony Devolver, whatever. We'll talk about him, but we're going to have a happy show today because we already got all the bad stuff out of
Well, I think you're leaving out something else that happened to you.
the way. Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it's painful. I
Thanks.
know it's painful.
So, anybody that knows me and has seen my Facebook feed knows that I love my car. I actually flew all the way to Omaha from Minneapolis to pick up this car when I bought it because there's only three that were available in the U.S. at the time. Um, and driving home the other day in the dark, a deer decided to rearrange the side of my car. Um, so the last estimate that I had was that it before they've taken any of the body panels off to see what's going on underneath, they figure it's about $15,000 in damage.
Oh, God.
It's it's a fairly expensive sports car, but what happened was I've read about this afterwards. They say always drive straight towards the deer. Don't turn, don't swerve. First of all, they're worried about you swerving and running off the road. But
Fair.
second of all, what I did is exactly what you shouldn't do. If I had have gone straight into the deer, it would have wrecked my hood, it would have wrecked my grill, it would have wrecked a little bit of the front of my car, probably my radiator, but it would have been confined to that. But instead, I swerved, the deer hit its head on my hood and then my windshield. Its body caved in my quarter panel and part of my front grill area, which is one gigantic piece across the front of my car. It's ripped off my mirror, it smashed my door, it smashed my rear quarter panel. I only have a two-door car, so that's every single panel along the side of my car. I'm pretty sure it missed the A pillar. Somebody asked me about that today, and I realized it's at the shop. I can't go check to see if my A pillar is bad too, because that's problematic. But they're going to probably find another $3,000 to $4,000 worth of parts underneath it. They're going to have to replace.
Well,
So, to all of those deer out there that don't understand, stay away from cars. Fuck you, and go stand in front of Meth Barbie's car while she's driving.
I mean, the sentimental moment of me, at least you're all right.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people saying I should be thankful for that, and there was nobody else in the car, and none of the glass that could have shattered towards me even cracked. I mean,
Hmm.
the deer basically deflected off of me. So I'm very lucky that way, I realize. And there was no oncoming traffic. So when I swerved, I didn't have to worry about hurting anybody else. I was very lucky. It's just that's my baby, and I don't have my baby back for probably about 5 weeks.
Do
And my daughter's going to hear this at some point and be really mad at me, but she doesn't understand the special relationship that I have with my car. I mean, it's not to the old Saturday Night Live Mercury Mistress where they do bad things to that car. It's not to that level, but I love my car, and my car is hurt right now.
isn't there like a TLC episode or show where My Strange Obsession and somebody like makes love to their car? That's not you, but
No, not yet. I mean, when I haven't seen that car for 5 weeks and I come back, I don't know what's going to happen.
It went weird.
Well, it had to go weird at some point. I mean, it's us.
That's
I
fair.
mean, if we don't take it to that level, why are we doing this?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I don't know if you accidentally snuck it in, but when you said it, I think we've all watched the commercial too many times. You said, "I don't have my baby back," but you didn't say it with that kind of staccato. You said "baby back," which I'm like, Chili's has gotten to your soul.
And you know what? I've never had Chili's ribs.
Yeah, I haven't either, to be honest. I've
Mm.
never had them. I mean, I've been there a handful of times, but never had their ribs.
Yep, I've been there a few times, and it's just not a destination for us. So that's the other thing that happened since the last time you heard from us. I gave up caffeine. I'm on a low sodium, low sugar diet based off of some blood pressure issues that I'm having. And I found out that all food sucks because either it has salt and fat in it, it's trying to kill me, or it doesn't have salt and fat in it, and I don't want to eat it. Those are the only two food groups left anymore.
Oh my gosh. I like, what are you just eating? Bread?
I ate a pepper for lunch today.
That's not enough
Okay.
sustenance.
I ate ramen noodles without the seasoning packet. That's become a
Oh,
staple of my. Now, what I figured out is I cut peppers up and put them in there. I've eaten cucumbers. I've eaten low salt crackers and all that sort of stuff. There is stuff out there to eat, but realize vegetables
yeah.
are my most hated food. I can I can tolerate peppers. I can tolerate cucumbers because cucumbers are still a vegetable, not a fruit, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I never know anymore. So, but um, I just I've hit the point where I've had to figure out, okay, I can't have a Coke and I can't have any energy drinks and I can't have any of like the Gatorades and that sort of stuff because all of them are just laced with sodium. So what am I
Uh,
going to drink? Because I hate drinking unflavored water. And right now I've settled on Crystal Light, but I'm guessing my digestive system is eventually going to revolt against the Crystal
yes.
Light, and I'm going to have to find something else.
Yeah, just what about those Mio like little flavored things that you can
Oh, and I did those before. Those are a base. Those are incredibly bad for your system. If
Oh,
you drink the Mio directly out of the thing, it's actually poisonous. Yeah.
okay. Note to self, avoid that at all costs.
Yes. It's the exact opposite of what the alkaline water is supposed to do for your stomach. It's non-acidic. Now, alkaline water is a misnomer.
Yes, it is.
Your stomach acid is much lower pH than the
Thank
alkaline
you.
water.
Thank you for saying that. Your body's going to normalize pH water to its pH anyway.
Yeah,
Dumbest marketing bullshit ever.
but put a base in your system and it's a completely different story. Now you're poisoning your body.
Ah, okay. Well,
So I'm gonna have to find that next thing that has no sugar, that has virtually no sodium, preferably that doesn't have red dye number 40 in it. I
yeah,
mean, I'm gonna be limited to drinking out of the tap and drinking radiator fluid. Those are the only choices I'm gonna have left.
I'm pretty sure Jolt Cola would be okay. For some reason,
Oh yes,
yeah, yeah, that's fine.
yeah. So we can have two advertisers, Joel. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on,
it's not
bring it
against the
on.
rules.
Bring it on.
X isn't going to be here forever. You could be.
We'll take Chili's too. Bring it on. We'll eat your ribs on the air.
This is just going to be one giant ad at some point, isn't it? For companies that are either bankrupt or going bankrupt.
I mean,
Not, no offense to Chili's. I mean, you let Pam from The Office back in. You did a great thing. That's great.
um, so I know we mentioned this last episode, but we were talking about top 10 lists. So I think we landed on a pretty fun one to discuss, and it's songs that you would never admit that you love, but you'll sing them
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah. They have to be horrible songs that you love. Okay. Or songs that if you knew it was coming on the next song on a CD, you'd look both ways before deciding if you're going to fast forward or if you're going to sing along.
Yep, yep. If you're in the
Okay.
car with somebody, you're probably 9 times out of 10 gonna skip this song just to
Yeah.
save everyone involved.
And I dated myself by saying CD instead of MP3.
Wow, I mean, I had CDs. I had like 620 CDs at my peak.
I had 8 tracks.
I know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what it is too because I lived through it. My parents had 8 tracks. Boney M, Night Flight to Venus. Look it up. You will be shocked and amazed. Anyways, that's
Well,
not one of the songs
no,
that's
no,
going to
no.
end up on this list.
But why don't you kick it off? Let's
Okay. So we're going to do this one by one. I do one,
yeah,
then you do one.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that goes.
And this was one of the songs that I told Ryan that was probably going to be on my list just because when I came up with the
Hmm.
idea for this in the car, it's Thrift Store by Macklemore. I mean, it's just a bad song. There's no point to it whatsoever, but I love singing it. I mean, I'm going to do you grandpa style. I mean, come on.
It's a witty song. I've seen him live singing it, so I have a different respect for it. So I'd still play that. But
But it is, we can agree that's a bad song.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't.
It's a bad song. I
I'll
mean,
I'll listen to it today and I'll get back to you.
okay. Okay,
Uh,
your turn.
all
You're
right.
first.
So I have a lovely song by a gentleman by the name of Billy Ray Cyrus, "Achy Breaky Heart."
Oh God. Okay. Now, so you hit the bad song part, the you like it part. I cannot know you if that's actually true.
It's one of those songs that I like to throw my voice and make it super twangy whenever I'm singing it alone, and I've done it since it came out, and I don't know why. I know it's a terrible song. We can agree on that.
Okay. Well, my next one, you're not going to know.
Okay,
It's
try
just
me.
pure and simple. You're not going to know. It's Murray's Guitar Saves the World by the Wiggles.
Yeah, I don't know them. I don't know the Wiggles at all.
The worst part about this is it's the rest. We used to listen to this when my daughter was very young. She would be in the car. We'd listen to it on a regular basis because she liked the Wiggles and it kept her quiet in the car. And there's just this one song that has a really good beat to it, that the guitar work is really well done, but it's the fucking Wiggles. And I love singing that song when it comes on. I will sing that song when it comes on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to it. I've never heard it. I can honestly say.
Yeah,
Um, hmm. Okay, the Wiggles. That's such a.
beat that.
I don't think well, I don't know. We'll let you be the judge. I don't think so though. So another one that I love, but I know it's not bad. It's not good. Uh, is Blue by Eiffel 65.
I've missed that one. Yep. Yep. It's not, my daughter sings that in the car. Okay. I know the song. I get it. I don't sing it out loud, but in my head, it's going. I get it.
It just won't leave my head, and I think
Yeah.
that's the problem. But anyway.
Yeah, it's not an earworm necessarily because an earworm annoys you. It's
Uh-huh.
one of those ones that you sing it and you feel bad for singing it, but you can't stop singing it.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm gonna bring in the Canadian contingent at this point for my next one.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna see if you even know the guy that sings this. His name is Kim Mitchell. He
Hmm.
sang a song. Now I'm gonna say the good ones first. He sang Patio Lanterns and he sang Alana Loves Me. They're decent songs. And then he sang a song called I Am a Wild Party. and it goes exactly like you think a Canadian screaming into a microphone, "I am a wild party" would go.
Well, like, are we talking like Andrew WK Party Hard type thing?
I haven't, I don't know that one, but think of somebody that looks like Geddy Lee, just pounding out "I am a wild party," then tipping the microphone towards the crowd so that they can sing it back.
Oh, no. Oh,
The
no.
live version, yes. It's did I
Alright.
ruin it by putting the Geddy Lee thing in there?
Yeah, because that's such a visual thing. I mean, I grew up with Rush, like, ingrained in my soul, and I've seen him live a few times, so, yeah, Geddy Lee, I know all too well, those stupid glasses.
Yep. Okay,
What
your turn.
alright, "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus.
Oh God, you've got two Cyrus songs.
I know, they're permeating my soul.
Did you do that on purpose?
I did not. I was just rolling through songs in my head and writing them down, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that one." But, yeah, it's definitely one of those that I don't know if I'd skip it in the car with somebody, but, like, if you and I were on a road trip, I would probably skip that. But if I, like it could also be like a Tommy Boy moment where I look over and I, like, hear it, and you look back to me, and we're both like, "Yeah, like, leave it." And then we both start singing it. I could see that happening too.
So my next one is absolutely going to be that. Okay, I
Okay,
can't remember the name of the song, the name of the band that actually sang it, but it
okay.
was done on the Animaniacs. It's the song Istanbul. Istanbul is Constantinople.
Oh,
Istanbul is
yeah, that's a
Constantinople.
great one.
Everybody has to sing that when it comes on. And I, excuse me, I only know it because of the Animaniacs.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh,
So
I have
tell me, does that belong on the list? That has to belong on the list.
no, I think it's actually such a happy moment. People would actually get like, rally behind that.
So what you're saying is it's not a horrible song, so therefore it doesn't belong on the list. Not that you'd be ashamed to sing it in public. You would sing it in public.
Yeah, yeah. I would maybe,
Oh,
like I yeah.
I'm never doing karaoke with you.
Oh,
Ever,
we
ever, ever.
I know what song I'm picking.
If excuse me, if that's on the karaoke machine, I mean, I will sing it with you. We will do the best duet of Istanbul that is ever possible.
The whole crowd would join in that one. That'd be a raucous moment. Alright,
Oh,
my number 4, and this is where I think I'm gonna lose you. This song drives me insane, but I love it. Uh, it's a Motley Crue song, Doctor Feelgood.
oh yeah. See, go ahead and explain why, and then I'll explain to you why I laughed at Motley Crue.
Alright, so this was one of those songs that my dad got stuck on, playing over and over and over and over and over again, and I don't like Vince Neil's voice one bit. It's the most nasally, to me, fake sounding ugh, it just drives me insane, and now thinking of him now, it bothers me even more, but I just I can't do this song, but I can't skip it, and I can't explain that part. I cannot skip it.
So on that same, the A side of Doctor Feelgood, there's a song called "Kickstart Your Heart."
Oh, yeah.
"Kickstart My Heart." Sorry,
Yep.
and that song is the song that I cannot play while I'm driving because I will suddenly be doing 130 miles an hour.
That's, for me, that's "Fuel" by Metallica.
Yeah, we could make a top 10 list of just songs that do that to you. So we'll
Hmm.
see. We're covering the music
Yep,
genre
yep,
today,
yep, yep,
but
yep. We
I
can go
think
back to
that
it.
we can come back to it another time. But I mean, I know that whole. I bought that album when it came out. So, uh,
Would
and speaking of buying albums when it came out, um, Axl Rose destroyed Guns N' Roses by putting together a set of albums that were the Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And on Use Your Illusion 2, there was a song called Get in the Ring, which is just him going off on anybody that's ever wronged him in any single possible way. And I love that song. There's a whole bunch of just it's there. I've heard songs before where people were angry at somebody. He was just angry at everybody in that song. It has a really good beat to it. The drums are done really well. It was when Matt Sorum was playing.
Mm.
Steve Adler was already gone on his next cocaine binge. The stuff that Slash did on it, it's all done live. It is a horrible song that I love. I've only ever played it in the car for one person, and they kind of looked at me like, "What are you doing, dude?" So
Yeah,
I don't play it for anybody else.
I don't know this one, so it's another one I'm gonna have to do research on. But
Okay.
I think you know the one I'm gonna say next. I've seen him live once. Guilty pleasure for sure. Don't like playing it in front of anyone else. I believe in a thing called love by the darkness because I like to attempt to hit the high notes, which is
Yeah.
atrocious, awful, and uncalled for, but I still do it.
Yeah, I don't know that song, but what you're talking about with those high notes, my song that I've realized now I can no longer do with where well, at my age is Angel by Aerosmith.
Oh yeah, I can't do that at all. That yeah, he got
I I used to in the car on my way home at quarter after midnight after closing my parents' store. I used to have that song and I would attempt to hit the high notes. I don't know if I actually did, but I would try. Now I won't even try because I will hurt myself.
So
So,
what's your number 6?
oh, this one's going to be the controversial one, I'm pretty sure. If not, there's a couple other that may end up being this. But um, before I realized what this band was actually about, they came out with a song. This would have been about 97. And I loved this song. And it's My Own Prison by Creed. And I
Oh my
still cannot get that, cannot not sing to that song. Every other song, Take Me Higher and all that sort of stuff. No, it's God music, it's Sky Daddy music. I can't do that. But My Own Prison, I didn't know what it was about. The lyrics were really dark. I love that song. I will sing it when it comes on. I just will not sing it in front
I've seen Creed live, and when I used to be in a band, we used to sing Creed songs because it was in my range. That and Godsmack, and Stone Temple Pilots, all of those were in my repertoire. I'm not
of people. Yeah.
conflating those 3 bands at all. It just happens to be what I could hit, but
Oh,
Creed for sure.
I went through my STP phase. I one of the last actual videos I watched end to end when there were still videos around was Big Bang Baby.
Yeah,
I
that's a weird
mean,
video.
the only reason that's not on this is because I contend it's a good song.
It is a good song. I agree with that. I support that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've also seen them live 3 or 4 times, all with Scott Weiland.
yeah, and I don't think that you can find an STP song that would ever hit that list of anybody that has four brain cells working.
No, I no, I
Even when he was with Velvet Revolver, I
Velvet
still think
Revolver is
Velvet
great.
Revolver. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was him going back to STP was kind of a weird thing for me because Velvet Revolver was really Guns N' Roses without Axel, whatever the fuck his problem is, and Scott Weiland. So it was a great combination to be able to work together. But Scott Weiland wanted to be who Scott Weiland was. He had to go back to STP.
yep,
It makes sense. But both of those bands are nearly the perfect band.
yeah. I You and I have agreed, and somebody mark this moment.
Okay,
Uh,
I believe you're on for your next song now.
I am, it's, Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's mom.
Oh God. Nobody wants to sing that. Why do you want to sing that?
I can't it's another one I just can't I we'll leave it at that. I just can't skip it. Just can't
Yeah.
skip it.
Yeah, I'm rethinking this whole podcast thing now.
We'll get through the list and we'll have this full discussion.
There's more. There's
Yeah, I
more.
know.
Uh well, this one again, I think this you probably know this is coming. You just didn't know where it was gonna be on my list. And my list is in no particular order. It's 10
Same,
songs, it's
same.
not worst to best. But it's by the Bloodhound Gang.
I knew this
Yeah,
was
I can
coming.
see the smile on your face. You guys listening to this can't, but he knows what song I'm talking about. What song is it?
I love this song so much. Why do you hate this song?
I don't hate the song. I love the song, but it's a song I would never play in some front of somebody. It's called "The Bad Touch,"
You
and
and me,
it's
baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. I love it.
exactly.
I love
And
it.
and the whole video of this thing is these guys in dog costumes and one guy, I believe, in a monkey
I think
costume
it's a monkey, yeah.
running around pretending to hump each other and do stuff like that. It's a horrible song, but when you hear that you and me baby ain't nothing but mammals, you have to sing along. You cannot, because the next words coming out are going to be we'll do it like they're due on the Discovery Channel. And you
Getting
have
horny
to
now.
bring up the Discovery Channel.
Um, Man, that makes me think of Dynamite Hack as well, and Farm Club Live. I don't know if you ever watched that, but
No, I didn't.
it's it. Yeah. Anyway, Matt Penfield, MTV disc jockey. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Uh, my number 7 is by Hall and Oates, Maneater.
Oh god. Oh my god, you had to bring up Hall and Oates. Because Daryl Hall
I
is
know.
suing
I
John
know.
Oates.
No, he has a restraining order.
Yes, he got a restraining order. So I found out more of what happened since the last time we talked about this. They had a joint venture that Daryl Hall wanted to pull his money out of. They've already sold off most of their song catalog.
Yeah.
So this joint venture has what's left of their joint catalog left in it. And he wanted to sell it off. So he was pulling in his investment out. And John Oates decided, okay, I'm going to sue him to stop this. And somehow that ended up in a restraining order. And this happened over this broke in the news
It
over
was quick.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was I think one of my posts on Facebook was everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving and breaking Daryl Hall got sued by John Oates, and then underneath it said this is why we can't have nice things.
Uh, I'm glad this
So
sparked this
that's a
conversation.
good song. I think if I had have thought about it, it probably would be in my list because we're getting down to the ones that Uh, you know,
Yeah, I
if
mean,
I would have thought longer than the 5 hours I was in the car on the trip when we came up with this idea, I might have come up with something different.
that's fair. But
This one, however, this one is going to require some explanation afterwards.
okay.
Do you remember the Bobby McFerrin song?
Mm,
Don't worry, be happy.
oh, please don't tell me that's your song.
That's my number 8.
Oh God.
And here's why. Okay, this is the stupid part. I actually saw, I believe it was 60 Minutes, do an interview with Bobby McFerrin. And at that point, he was the conductor of the Philadelphia Philharmonic. Okay, that whole accent that he put on in that song is fake.
I knew that. I did. Okay, maybe I
Okay,
saw the same thing then. Okay.
but what I saw was him do a duet where he just made sounds with his mouth while somebody on a bass played next to him, and it was fucking amazing. Now, here's the part that requires some explanation. Back when, excuse me, back when that song came out in the 80s, I was driving around in a 1984 Econoline panel van with my friends. Okay, and so we would put that song on while we were driving around downtown, roll the windows down, and put that as far to put the sound up as high as a Ford Econoline van would let you, and scream that song at the top of our lungs while we were driving through the downtown of my hometown.
No one can see this, but I have my head in my hands because I'm just, well, I'm upset. I'm upset. This is no, no.
It's on my list. See, it's right
I,
there.
I can't refute any of this, right? I got it. I just okay.
It's
So my,
it's one of those. I appreciate the fact that first of all he Milli Vanilli'd his accent for that one. Okay, it was completely fake, but he is an amazing musician, and that's what got lost out of that song because he'll always be remembered for that song and not for how amazing he is as a musician.
Well, my number 8 is full of a band full of amazing musicians. Legitimately, I grew up with this band.
Is this the
I've
Beatles?
no seen this band more times than I care to admit. It might be the band I've seen the most in my life because of my father again. It's Kansas.
Ah, right. Got it.
But it's Carry On My Wayward Son.
Yes, the Supernatural song.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
where if you haven't watched Supernatural, they actually at one point somebody makes a play out of that song. Did you ever watch it enough to get to that
I didn't
episode?
see that deep. No.
Oh, it was horrible. It was bad. It's the running joke on Dean Winchester. It's hilarious.
But that's my number 8. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, excuse me. I argue that one only because I don't think it's a bad song.
I don't think it's a bad song, but it's one of those songs that has been ruined over the course of time that I still enjoy because for me it's very nostalgic, but I don't want to sing it in front of anyone.
See, I think for it to be a horrible song, everybody would have to agree with your viewpoint that it's been ruined, and I don't think it's been ruined. Not their version of it.
Maybe it's been ruined for me and I'm projecting.
Maybe, but I'm just saying that's a good song. That was on a very good album. That was on the album Kansas, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's a very good song. A lot of the songs they play on Supernatural actually are really good songs. So
Well, I've also seen these guys live and I can tell you they cannot hit the high notes any longer, but they're still performing.
so honestly, the only soundtrack that's better than Supernatural is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's a great soundtrack.
Oh, just
Wow,
unbelievable!
wait.
Some of the
Did
songs.
I just agree with you twice in one
I
episode?
know.
Oh.
Somewhere an angel is losing its wings.
Yep, yep, yep. Straight back to hell with that one.
Wow, you took that far. Okay, we got to keep moving
Yeah,
here.
yes.
So somebody had to bring up ZZ Top in this. I'm gonna have to bring up ZZ Top Lagrange. Dun
Mm,
dun 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 dun.
but I like it.
I love that song, but I'm not singing that in front of anybody. I'm not.
Why?
I'm looking around to see who's there.
Now, if you what I mean, like, but of all their songs, like Pearl Necklace, probably that's the one you're not singing around anyone.
See, I don't sing that song. That song doesn't do it
Okay,
for me
all
though.
right, all right.
So, I
Well,
mean,
then,
Legs doesn't do it. Legs pisses me off because the car got destroyed to make the spaceship that they made out of it for the end of
oh,
that video.
right.
So, I
That
think
also
it was
makes.
that video. I think it was Legs. Feel free,
I,
internet, go correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's the one
I think it was. I think you're
where
right.
at the end of it they're flying away in space in the car that's been modified to look like a spaceship. They wrecked the car in that one.
Now, not to be conflated, but I really do love the song by Rod Stewart, "Hot Legs." It's not on my list, but I just like that song, and you made me think of that.
So
Uh,
I saw Rod Stewart singing Christmas songs in September in 104 degrees at a previous employer that I worked for that brings in music acts on a regular basis. So I've seen worse Rod Stewart than you will ever see because he was hammered
fair. Okay.
at 3
I'm,
in the afternoon.
I'm gonna jump to my next one. So this
Okay.
is a very popular song. Uh, "Livin' La Vida Loca" by Ricky Martin.
Oh God, no. I would turn my back on you right now, but people cannot see that I'd be turning my back. They just wouldn't hear me anymore. And they
Look,
just hear you and immediately leave when you said living La Vida Loca.
I don't
I
want.
mean, I don't know how the 6 people that are going to watch this episode are going to get past this point.
I'm curious how they're gonna watch it.
Oh, wow. That's your defense's deflection. I get it.
Well, but
So
go ahead with your number
nothing
10.
against Ricky Martin, but
No,
that's
no.
just a horrible song.
It, I,
So my last one. You spin me right round.
oh, I love that song so much. Especially
Everybody does, but nobody's gonna be the first person to say, "I want to hear you. I want to put you spin me right round on any music instrument that's playing
But
in that area.
I loved it when Paul Rudd and Jimmy Fallon redid it, and they did it, like, exactly to the music video. Oh, it's so good.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
My number 10, again, I might lose you on this one. Might lose a lot of people on this one. It's "Jump" by Van Halen.
oh, but the problem is it's not a bad song. Eddie Van Halen with that big guitar piano thing that he had. I mean, nobody else could have ever played that thing.
Not disagreeing. It's just one of those songs for me.
Now, here's the thing, which is better? The David Lee Roth days or when they were Van Hagar?
Mm, I think it's Van Hagar.
Oh, absolutely. I was worried you were going to go the other way and it was going to ruin our friendship.
No, I was thinking through all the songs. I was trying to go through my mental Rolodex, and I'm like, yeah, the David Lee Roth ones just irritate me. Like the Ice Cream Man. Ugh, yeah,
Yeah, but they had some good songs.
they did, but
Again,
I just,
Hot for Teacher, but
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
not the same style of song. Their version of Back in the USSR.
I'd still prefer the Beatles.
Yeah, well, everybody's going to prefer the Beatles, but it was a decent cover. Okay, they did some stuff with it to be able to make it work. They had a couple of other songs, but Van Hagar, by far, a much more professional
Yeah.
song singer. David Lee Roth was just the maniac that he was.
Well, so I do like this top 10 list. Um, I'm kind of curious if next week, what if we did something like top 10 cars you would not be caught dead driving in?
Okay, I could see that. So here's the thing: on our website, you can go to repressedhumorissues.com, click on contact up at the top, and you can send us your list. Send your music list in, send your car list in,
Send
and
your ideas
we'll
in.
read we'll read some of them off. So use the contact us form. And we'll read them off in the next episode. But I like this idea, especially while my baby's in the shop. Talk about cars that I wouldn't drive and
Hopefully,
realize. Go ahead.
I was going to say, hopefully you have your baby back.
No, I'm 5 weeks away from having it, so hopefully we're going to record another episode before then.
I was just trying to
Or
get
is
my
this
Chili's.
just that much work?
I was just trying to get my Chili's reference back in there. That's all.
Oh,
Trying to get some ribs here, okay? I'm hungry.
oh, I'm going to paraphrase what Elon said. Fuck you. And there's our sponsorship for two of our three special sponsors for today.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you'll see little Easter eggs on our website that have stuff like that in it too, because I decided to have some fun on our website. And you can actually listen to our latest episode directly on our website,
Yes, yes. Thank you for
but not
doing
this
literally
one right now
no.
because we're still taping it and we haven't uploaded it, so you can't listen to it yet.
But yeah, let's give Dan some kudos for truly keeping this together. I keep getting sent overseas, and he's doing the heavy lifting on this. I am the lightweight in multitude of ways.
Yeah, but in a moment of honesty here, you've kept me grounded on what we want to do because if we just did it the way that I wanted to do, if I wrote everything for this, the way that we started heading down that road, this wouldn't be nearly as much fun to do.
I am having fun doing it. So,
Except you brought up Living La Vida Loca. I'm
you,
so ashamed.
sometime in my brain, I don't know why because my brain sucks, but I sometimes conflate it with Cisco's Thong Song, and I don't know why.
God.
So, but anyway, we can move past those two
Well,
songs.
well, there was one in here that I put on. Oh, where is it? Now I'm gonna forget it. Dang it. There's a song that it always comes on, and I sing it when it comes on. But I always sing the first part of it, and then I'm instantly singing the George of the Jungle song, which I think is another song that should have been on the list. Is you hear the George of the Jungle song and you have to sing it,
George,
the
George,
cartoon
George
of it.
Jungle. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, strong as he can be.
Oh,
Oh,
watch out
watch
for
out for that
that.
tree.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah. So
Wow, how is that?
everybody would sing that too. That's from our generation. Because Ryan's 57.
Yes, 57. I can only count to 37.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, his eyebrows flutter at about 42 beats per minute. Just so you're aware. I can't look at you when you do that. It's just,
I can't look at
it's,
myself.
it's just,
I just looked at myself. I ruined it for myself. But
it's just wrong. And stop it.
fair.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody
Now,
wants to hear that. People are going to complain. Excuse me, that they heard your eyebrows going up and down.
yeah, just imagine it's like the cartoon. Boing, 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 boing. I'm
No,
also a little punchy because I am on jet lag overload today. It has punched me right in the nose. So
deservedly so.
yeah, I was just in Sweden for a week, and it was like I was there long enough for everything to adjust. Now I came back just in time for myself to have to go backwards, and then I go out west. My body's going to be so messed up. Ugh. But
And on that note, maybe you need some fuck you.
fuck you.
I
I
still
think
do it better.
oh,
I
you
still
do it
do it.
better. I'm working on practicing. Um, so like I said, we're not editing this, so we're gonna have this conversation out loud, looking at the time that we have elapsed. Do we go forward with our last little idea, or do we
Yeah.
save it?
No, we do it. We do it.
Okay.
It's new enough. We've got to talk about it now.
All right. All right. So,
We're capping this at 10 minutes.
okay, we'll cap it at 10 because I'm probably gonna get yelled at soon. But yeah, so you and I have talked a little bit about movies, and we both like very different movies, but we did land on a movie that we both watched all the way through, and that's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And I honestly, I wasn't thrilled with this thing.
Neither
I
was I.
I think it was a bit of an unnecessary dumpster fire that happened, but there's the nostalgic elements for me that I still drew me back in enough to get through it.
Okay, so before we go any further,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, everybody. If you have not
Yeah.
watched this show, if you have not watched this movie, we're going to talk about elements of the movie. So this is a spoiler alert. You have been told now, this will be the third time I said spoiler alert. If for some reason you still think that we can ruin this movie by telling you plot elements, please leave now. Okay?
I
Come back after you watch it.
we might be saving you time also. Um, yeah, it's like, okay, the nostalgic bits for me, the generic traveling the world, going to do little archaeological things, battling Nazis, love that. Seeing Salah, seeing Marion, love all
Mhm.
that. Uh, Antonio Banderas, I think I texted you this, made no sense to me. I wasted.
They just, it was great that they shot him because they needed to shoot him because he was worthless to that storyline.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Now, the part that I couldn't stand though was actually when they did the going back in time and making Harrison Ford young.
Oh, the CGI on that. I looked at that and I thought, Harrison Ford's 80 years old and gray. What the
Yeah,
heck is going on? Then very quickly you could see they paid some cheap CGI artists to be able to CGI that face on whoever was actually doing that.
yeah. Well, supposedly Harrison Ford did a lot of his own stunts, which I was surprised to find out. Um, Even being his age, I think he broke his leg doing the filming as well. But either way, i- so but the whole premise of the film is what got me, and I know you and I aligned on that as well. Like, it's just stupid.
Yeah. I think it's beyond that. They kind of blew their wad with the Crystal Skull
Yeah.
because all of a sudden you had aliens involved and it sucked up an entire mountain and blah blah blah. It was just that was just a step too far. That was jumping the shark. Okay, well, what happens when you jump the shark the first time? You need to keep jumping the shark because you need to keep outdoing yourself. And this is my problem with a lot of movies. Even Stranger Things, I'm worried about this is going to happen with. This was just the second jumping of the shark because they've run out of ideas that don't involve way too far out concepts to be able to keep people enthralled with the idea of Indiana Jones.
Well, I mean, now part of me does want to do a little bit of research on it to see what's factually accurate that they pulled out of there, because I know a little bit about Archimedes. I don't know a ton. Um, but I mean, the
So let's put
whole
it this way: Archimedes' displacement of water is a true thing. The king asked him to tell him how much volume his crown took up, and he dunked it in water and measured the water that came off the sides. That's true. And there were diagrams for a giant claw like mechanism that could pull a boat out of the water and sink it. Those two parts were true. I don't know if the little time machine thing was true or not. That's where I think they started with the BS, and that's where it went too far.
yeah, it's it was fun to watch in certain spots. I'll say that. Do I want my time back? Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And I think that end part where they're with Archimedes and the girl punches Indiana Jones out, and then he wakes up days later in his apartment. I mean, that was even more unnecessary than everything before that. I get the idea of the watch says that everything that happened always had to happen. But Indiana Jones would have been smart enough to realize that means he has to go back.
Yeah, I mean, the premise I get. I get it. It works, I guess. But I mean, come on, really? Going back and seeing Archimedes, did you really have to show that the dial worked?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And talking in the ancient Athenian that they did, like it was just rolling off the end of their tongues. I mean, there's nobody to speak it to be able to know that you're getting the accents right, that you could actually say it in some way that Archimedes would understand, but he just naturally understood them. That's far fetched.
It was just a Harrison Ford payday. That's all it comes down to. That's all I can ascertain out of it.
I think it was like the Last of the Jedi, episode 8, where they were trying to kill off the Luke character. They're trying to get rid of Indiana Jones, but they did that after Crystal Skull,
Yep,
and then they kind of did it at the end of this one. But then you see him grab his hat at the end,
yep. They left it
which
open.
means they left it open, which is now Harrison Ford's going to be what, 84 soon. There's no way that he wants to keep filming those kinds of action movies,
No, he
which
can't.
means that they're going to bring somebody else in with an even more ridiculous storyline, or they're going to remake the entire series.
Now, I contend that they'll do one more with Harrison Ford where he will take on the Sean Connery role.
Maybe. Yeah.
It'll be Last Crusade 2.
Yeah, I forgot about that whole driving the tank off of the cliff thing.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all I can think of that they'll do that makes sense, and they'll introduce
but
his
even
son. Or his,
even that episode was unnecessary. That movie was unnecessary.
yeah, but it was Sean Connery, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, after that came the movie with Sean Connery and Angelina Jolie, where, or maybe it wasn't her, but it was somebody where she's going to steal $1 billion over Y2K, and he's the cop that's going to stop her from doing it, and they fall in
oh,
love, and it was just
I just remember him in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I did enjoy.
so I did not enjoy it. I just have problems with that car because that car could not function. They tested cars that were supposed to be able to work like that, and they never worked.
Fair, but it was one of those films that I was willing to forgive a lot for because
Yeah,
of what it was. But anyway, I digress.
it's kind of like Harry Potter. I get it.
That was unexpected. Okay. uh, all right. Well, I think let's cap it there. I think that's we agreed 3 times in one episode. That's 3 times too many. Next time we will be sure to be more combative. I don't know if that's the right phrase. I like this discussion. I think it was actually pretty fruitful, getting a little bit to know you a little bit better musically as well, and aligning on films, which is my one of my deeper passions. So
Just remember, I am a wild party.
I will listen to it when I'm done.
Kim Mitchell. It's like 1988, 89, I believe.
All right, I got it. Well, I'm going to wrap this here. So you can find us on Twitter, correct?
Yes.
What's the handle?
RHI_podcast. So repressed humor issues _podcast. Yeah, we're not editing this, so Ryan didn't key me up for I was supposed to be saying that.
No, because I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. So I'm like, it's
but you
your
can
turn.
get to it from our website,
which is repressedhumorissues.com, or email us directly at repressedhumorissues with an S at gmail.com.
or clowncollegeboy@gmail.com.
God damn it. But
and thanks to our fake sponsors, X, Chili's,
Jolt.
Who else did we say? Jolt. That was it. Jolt's going to just have to be the recurring sponsorship.
I'm here for it. But, well, thank you all for joining us on episode 4, and we will talk to you all next week. I'm Ryan.
I'm Dan.
We will see you next time.